Order number 1, prayers.
In the name of Allah, the Lord of the mercy, the giver of the mercy, praise belongs to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Lord of the mercy, the giver of the mercy, master of the day of judgment. It is you we worship, it is you we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, those who anchor no anger, and those who have not gone astray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of the leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of the important trust in this republic. Let your blessing descend upon you assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor, glory, and to advance peace, prosperity, and the welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen.
Order number 2, convocation. Addressed by the Speaker.
Honorable members, as you have just heard, we have a very unfortunate incident happened this afternoon along Banisa Olaramo Road between Guba and Ola Town. We are yet to get details happenings, but information we are getting is that some people have lost their lives and their injuries. I would like to send our deepest heartfelt condolences to the victims and the people who have been affected in one way or another. And this is a very unfortunate incident. And as leaders, I think we need to continue with the conversation to see how such incidents will not happen again. Going back to my communication today, honorable members, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome His Excellency, the Governor of Mandara, Brother Ali Ibrahim Roba, and all the honorable members to the second assembly, fourth session of Mandara County Assembly. It is customary that the Governor addresses special sitting of the County Assembly once every year and may address County Assembly at any other time pursuant to provision of Standing Order number 221-1. Your Excellency, I would like to make some brief remarks. Honorable members, as we embark on the fourth session, we should appraise ourselves as an institution on what we have achieved and lay emphasis on what we need to achieve in order to carry our mandate effectively. Honorable members, the great expectation before us requires commitment, focus, harmony, and unity of purpose of our people. It is our responsibility to ensure to build a structure that is responsive to the need of our people. The Assembly is obliged to maintain an effective system in place to ensure inclusivity, equity, and social justice for all. Honorable members, our second assembly, third session, has passed various motions, reports, and also enacted various legislation, including Mandara County Appropriation Bill 2019, Mandara County Trade Development Fund Amendment Bill 2019, Mandara County Health Services Bill 2019, Mandara County Breastfeeding Mothers Bill 2019. We have also enacted the FCDC Act, that is Mandara County Frontier Counties Development Council Bill 2019. The FCDC Act 2019 will enhance platform for cooperation, coordination in the view of enhancing social economic development, and also provide the standard in implementation of the Vision 2010 and other development blueprint in our region. Honorable members, creating awareness through public education on various legislation passed by the first and second assembly is important. There is need, therefore, to harmonize continuous civil education programs by respective county department so that the members of the public is fully informed of the legislation and policies in the county. Several other legislation are also before the relevant committee. I also call upon the county executive to operationalize the legislation passed by the county assembly within a minimum required time. Honorable members, while we celebrate our achievement since inception of the revolution, we must also reflect the challenges that we have faced and identified an alternative solutions. You are aware the locust invasion in our country, in our county, have already caused unprecedented damage to our vegetation, which will have far-reaching effect on food security and the livelihood of our people. Already, Food and Agricultural Organization FAO on the Daily Nation of 30th January 2019 has warned that the locust invasion could even get worse if control effort is not upscaled. This matter, therefore, requires an urgent intervention. I call upon His Excellency the Governor and our members of the County Assembly to find out an urgent measures to contain this situation with the help of the national government and other partners. I also take this opportunity to express my appreciation to all those who have supported in this exercise so far. Honorable members, I note also with great concern that the mass exodus of teachers, especially the non-local teachers from the northern region, following the directive by the Teacher Service Commission to transfer all the non-local teachers from the northern region over the security fears. The transfer of teachers has disrupted learning activities in the region, and it's true that some part of the region has been a soft target of the terror attack and posed threats to the learning environment, but the leadership of this region has been continuously in collaboration with the national government in finding a durable solution to this menace. But the harsh decision by TSC over the transfer of teachers has brought education in the region to its knees. I hope the upcoming conference on the county education stakeholders to be held on Thursday, February 2020 in Mandara will lead to conversation that will address this issue urgently. Honorable members, you are aware that November 27th November 2019, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta launched a building bridge initiative at the Bomas of Kenya. The report ushers a national discussion on the future of this country, but as legislators, we have the citizenry duty to protect the interests of our people as Northeastern region in regards to BBI. In our recent county assemblies forums, we have reached a consensus that we shall resist creation of a three-tier government, that is a regional government, that will return us back to the further marginalization, and therefore we need to stand up and protect devolution. Honorable members, let's fulfill the promise we made to our people in regards to the manifesto and the policies that we promised to implement. Let us not forget that this will be a yardstick for voters to make informed choices in electing their representative in future. Nevertheless, huge tasks will still remain ahead of us, and I believe we shall rest to fulfill our commitment as legislators. Honorable members, as we discharge our constitutional responsibility of oversight of the public resources, we are duty-bound to ensure transparency in service delivery. We must not compromise our role. It is our responsibility to remain committed to the trust that has been bestowed upon us by our electorate. Honorable members, I urge all of you to conduct yourselves with integrity, decorum, and uphold rule of law, observe provision of our standing orders and constitution, and always commit ourselves to achieve our mandate as per the Article 185 of the Constitution of Kenya. Honorable members, finally, you are aware that the Governor will address the County Assembly in accordance with the provision of our Standing Order number 21-1. I therefore remind you that the Governor shall be heard in silence pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 23-2. Thank you.
Speech by His Excellency the Governor.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is address to Mandara County Assembly, which is a State of the County address, and I begin. His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Honorable Speaker, members of the County Assembly, County Executive Committee members, Chief Officers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are grateful to the Almighty Allah for enabling us to gather here today to reflect on the true state of our beloved county in 2020. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, during your recess, a few critical events happened within our county, including the passing on of the second President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, on the 4th of February 2020. Mr. Speaker, may I request with your permission that we be upstanding and observe a minute of silence in honor of his contribution to this great nation of Kenya. You can resume your seats, please. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, during a recess, the second conference on countering violent extremism was held in Mandara and leaders proposed 12 critical measures for implementation to cushion our county from adverse effects. 4 of the 12 resolutions were prioritized, and after consultations, we agreed to develop them into a petition to be presented to the national government for consideration and implementation. Consultations on the same have been ongoing, and let me thank our senator, our members of parliament, and Mandara County Assembly leadership under the Speaker himself, House Majority Leader, House Minority Leader for playing a critical part on the initiative. 8 of the remaining resolutions will be implemented at the county level in collaboration between Ministry of Interior, Mandara County Government, non-state actors, and the development partners as we implement the County Action Plan. The resolutions reached are homegrown solutions, which came from the people of Mandara who continue to bear the brunt of the effects of radicalization and terrorism as late as this morning when Moyale Rahabas was attacked between Sarman and Tarbe on its way to Nairobi. Honorable members, for the last 7 years, we have suffered a lot as a result of terrorism and radicalization. The challenges of terror has created alienation of our region. Thousands of our children have suffered mass failures due to lack of teachers. There has been negative private sector investment to generate employment opportunities for our youth. Our healthcare system have been severely impacted. Cross-border trade that supported our livelihood since independence has been brought to grinding halt due to terror. External capital investment by the national government has failed to progress. We have been isolated by non-governmental entities due to terror. Our road transport has been made extremely expensive because of terror threats. Our own investment as a county government that could have taken limited time to finish have remained incomplete over the years. That is why we must see terrorism for what it actually is, which is evil that must be fought with everything we've got to liberate ourselves from the grips of terror. Our societies must understand Al-Shabaab's intent of isolation of our region, destruction of the socio-economic fabric of our society, imposition of total economic sanction, pitting us against each other with our other Kenyan brothers and sisters, and the real intent of destruction of the Somali race in Kenya by annoying other Kenyans of non-Somali origin into action that target Somalis. Already, they have succeeded in convincing the likes of Nancy Macharia and Lydia Nzomo of TAC into seeing schools in NEP, Northeastern Province, must all be closed through the removal of teachers with terror-instilled attitude of who cares? After all, they are Somalis and all of them are the same. Hence, if their children don't go to school, it's okay. This situation must be challenged and mitigated. Honorable members, despite all the challenges I've just shared, we have resiliently maintained the course, and inshallah, the Almighty Allah, who is the all-knowing and all-seeing, has a plan for us. More than ever before, I'm very optimistic that this situation will change and our glory days of peaceful Mandara will be back soon. God will not leave us in this suffering indefinitely. Inshallah, I remain very optimistic in Allah's name and will. Honorable members, we are all aware of the disastrous recall of teachers from Mandara County and all northeastern region counties by the ill-advised decision of Teacher Service Commission. This move is unacceptable and amounts to sabotage of our future and presents a grim picture for our beloved children. It is discrimination of the highest order and an unconstitutional move that must be countered. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm always optimistic. We, the leaders of Mandara County, must rally together to find a lasting solution to every challenge that confronts us. We cannot dwell in blame games that will not change our situation. We must find stopgap solutions to our problems in schools. Learning must continue, and this means that we will have to make a lot of sacrifices in our budgets, strategies, actions, and policies. Learning must continue at all costs, as we will risk surrendering our fate to bureaucrats sitting in Nairobi and the people who do not understand or appreciate our circumstances. We cannot condemn our children to illiteracy. I hereby announce that we will host a major education stakeholders conference tomorrow, Thursday, February the 20th, here in Mandara, which will seek to propose homegrown solutions to help us cope with our situation. On this proposal, I will ask for each one of you to participate enthusiastically in this noble event for the protection of our children. Honorable Speaker, the political challenges between Jubaland and the federal government of Somalia has escalated to a level that is posing very serious danger unto our Mandara population. Recently, the federal government of Somalia sent security forces to take over the administration and security of Gedo region, forcing the displacement of Jubaland security forces and administration out of at least Dolo and Belethao, as far as we can tell, into Mandara town within our territory. These forces have crossed into Kenya with all their weapons and are inside Mandara along our border with Belethao. This has created a major security concern for our population. Mr. Speaker, the leadership and the population of Mandara have never interfered with the affairs of Somalia, both at regional and federal levels. We have maintained good neighborliness and have given our neighbors all the support we could possibly give during the very difficult times of post-President Siad Barre's rule. Their situation greatly affected us in all aspects of our life. To date, we are still affected by the spillover effects of terrorism in Somalia. This is a clear indication that we wish them well and we respect their sovereignty to solve their internal challenges in their own ways. However, the security challenges have found its way into our laps, and we can no longer sit back and watch. This unfolding security situation along our border and the presence of Jubaland administration and security within Mandara, well inside our Kenyan territory, has posed a very serious security risk to our population. It has deliberately put us in harm's way. The leadership of the population of Mandara and its population can no longer keep quiet at this clear and present danger unto our population. While we respect the position of our government with respect to our relationship with Somalia, we refuse to accept the risks posed to our population and demand that our government must handle this delicate matter urgently with the seriousness it deserves. Or else, our government must know that we will hold them responsible for any harm that befalls our population within Mandara County. They also must know that while we remain patriotic to our nation and the cause of our government, we are also equally patriotically duty-bound to protect our population from getting affected by a conflict that we believe we can avoid as a nation. We do not want our population caught in between a conflict of warring functions inside Somalia. We request our government to immediately remove the Jubaland forces within our border to protect the population of Mandara. This situation is growing ugly, and as neighbors, we can clearly see the deteriorating security situation that has very high possibility of exploding into fully blown conflict that will hurt the population of Mandara. Honorable members, despite new challenges confronting us, we should never tire of saying devolution is truly God sent for our county. Over the last 7 years, we continue to witness the immense transformation that devolution has had on the lives of Mandara people. Although we are bearing the brunt of the impact of climate change, the severity of such calamities is not as bad. We are emerging from one of the worst droughts ever witnessed in recent times, and this was followed by flash floods that displaced many families and killed hundreds of our animals. As if this was not enough, towards the end of the year 2019, huge swarms of locusts invaded our county, destroying vegetation and literally wiping out pastures without much help from the national government or any other external stakeholders. We are still battling these disastrous effects within our borders. Honorable Speaker, sir, honorable members, food security in Mandara County has been majorly affected by the fragile ecosystems, frequent droughts, and floods. The desert locust invasion began on the 28th of December 2019, affecting at least 106 sites in all the sub-counties, and covered nearly 13,000 square kilometers of rangeland, farmland, and has destroyed an estimated 220 to 350 tons of pasture and crops each day. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, experts have warned that a new set of locusts are breeding, and we should expect more invasions by mature swarms soon. This will overstretch our limited capacity to cope with increased invasion after battling the nearly 2 months long successive invasions. Hence, we would have to appeal for external help to cope with these increased threats of invasion by locusts. Honorable members, the national government is ill prepared to manage locust disaster in terms of expertise and resources. It has become extremely apparent that the Ministry of Agriculture seemingly does not have the resources in terms of money, expertise, and capacity to deal with the control and management of locusts, and feels shy of declaring it a national disaster to unlock external resources and support. Hence our sad feel good and in control attitude of the ministry and lack of timely response with the sense of urgency it deserves from the early warning issued, and the neglect of our cries during the first invasion has guaranteed safe and restricted passage of the locust across the country, so much such that today over 80% of our country's landmass is under locust invasion. Honorable Speaker, we are still vulnerable to the impacts of these damaging insects, hence we'll continue to appeal for external support. The invasion continues to pose a serious food security threat and has impacted negatively the livelihoods of our pastoralist communities. We've been carrying out manual spraying of insects with limited success as we call for support from aerial sprays, which was never responded to, which requires specialized aircraft. We will continue praying to the Almighty Allah to cushion our people and environment from the disaster of locust invasion. Mr. Speaker, sir, my administration increased our focus on completion of mega projects behind schedule due to security challenges and contractors who failed to deliver within time. I am happy to note that the completion progress is very good for the heavy capital projects, and I want to assure this Honorable Assembly that we will continue with the determination to complete the project soonest. Our magnificent county headquarters is nearing completion, and we will soon move into it, inshallah, as centralized service delivery center. Several other projects have been handed over by contractors, and we will start commissioning them to offer quality services to the public. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, let me begin by explaining some of the strides we made in the 10 ministries in the last calendar year. Under the Ministry of Health Services, Mandara County government focused on improving health services delivery at Mandara County Referral Hospital, which has since benefited health service delivery to the people of Mandara and beyond. We have operationalized dialysis services at Mandara County Referral Hospital, which has since benefited 52 patients who had more than 573 sessions. Previously, these patients traveled all the way to Nairobi to receive treatment at very expensive cost, including transport. The CT scan services at Mandara County Referral Hospital, which has benefited 443 clients since July 2019, who could have been referred to Nairobi, saving both time and cost. To improve access to quality healthcare services for patients, the county government has recruited an additional 17 medical doctors, making the total doctors in the county payroll 54, including 4 specialists, that is 2 surgeons, 1 ENT, 1 obstetric gynecologist, who benefited from the specialized training sponsored by the county government and have since resumed work to bridge the gap in specialization after efforts to attract medical consultants become fertile. Maternal and childcare health care services have been an integral part of our vision to improve the health indicators of our communities. In this regard, Mandara County government has prioritized establishment of 3 comprehensive maternal and neonatal units, of which 2 have already been operationalized, while the 3rd is complete, awaiting equipment before operationalization. To facilitate timely life-saving referrals, the county government has procured 6 modern ambulances in the last financial year, making the total existing fleet of ambulances to 12, which has since referred 1,857 patients, out of which 945 beloved mothers who could have died of obstetric emergencies were served. Due to our close proximity to porous border with Somalia, we have been experiencing the spread of diseases across the border. In the last period under review, we had outbreaks of cholera 3 times. In Kutulo, in 3 times, that is in Kutulo, with 278 cases and 1 death reported. Takaba, which reported 56 cases and 0 death. And Dandu reported 21 cases and 0 death. The reason for the successful control of the outbreak was as a result of putting right mitigation measures and active surveillance and response system in place. Mandara County government has had a fair share of challenges with sole supplier of essential medical supplies, KEMSA. KEMSA has never met our supply needs as far as our requisition orders are concerned. Every time orders are placed, the highest percentage of an order that they have ever supplied is at about 60%, which has always left us with a gap of 40% unsupplied in every order. This has put a lot of pressure on our health facilities in terms of stock levels. In the last quarter, we have paid KEMSA a total of 92 million for previous supplies and placed an order of Kenya shilling 63 million for the current quarter, but the deliveries of supplies still have the same shortcomings. Ministry of Health had 19 proposed development projects, and that is 4 APDs, 9 dispensaries, 1 theater, 3 maternity units, and 2 accident and emergency centers, which have since been completed successfully. Out of the 19 projects, 7 have already been operationalized. And in protecting the members of the public from effect of hazardous medical waste and in safeguarding the natural environment, we have operationalized 3 waste management facilities at Mandara County Referral Hospital. Specialist services. Due to inadequate specialists in the county and the need for more specialist services by communities, the county government has partnered with AMREF for cleft lip and palate repair medical camp that benefited 34 clients, and we've partnered also with WARDA for an eye camp that saw 700 patients screened, 505 treated, and 168 patients successfully operated on at Mandara County Referral Hospital. In addition, through the MES project, the county government has established and operationalized CT scan with telemedicine connection to a radiologist based in Nairobi for purpose of reading the results of the results at Mandara Referral Hospital, which has since benefited 443 patients. Mr. Speaker, in the area of health management information system, which forms the basis of monitoring and evaluation of healthcare. We have improved through procurement of standard reporting tools for each of the operational health facilities in the county. This has enabled the health sector to track the performance targets set to address its objectives. Automation of health information at Mandara County Referral Hospital is underway and will soon be paperless records. The same has been planned to be rolled out in all other hospitals in the sub-counties. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, in the Ministry of Education, Sports and Culture and Tourism, the Department of Education, Sports and Culture is committed to enhancing access to quality and relevant education at all levels. It is also committed in enhancing access to technical and vocational education training with view of providing a skilled and globally competitive, employable human resource in line with Mandara County Integrated Development Plan and Kenya's Vision 2030. The early childhood and development education is one of the functions fully devolved, as provided for under Schedule 4 of the Constitution 2010. The Mandara County government has invested in the ECD sector, which has 230 public ECD centers with an enrollment of over 20,000 learners, manned by 530 ECD teachers. In 2019, 260 students from ECD College in Mandara sat for the exams administered by Kenya National Examination Council, NEC. Out of this number, 105 completed ECD proficiency exams. 98 completed the certificate level, whereas 57 students completed their diplomas. As part of our transformation program, the department has been offering a number of scholarship programs to students wishing to pursue various careers. This year, the ministry will be disbursing Kenya shillings 110 million bursary fund to support bright and poor students to pursue specialized courses like teaching, medicine, and technical courses. Honorable Speaker, Mandara Technical Training Institute has an enrollment of 320 students. 227 are male and 93 are female. Mandara County government has invested heavily in Mandara Technical Training Institute to empower the youth in line with my manifesto of expanding it into a world-class university of science and technology. The county government has already allocated 50 acres of land to the institution. So far, we have already invested over 300 million shillings to upgrade the institution. In addition, the county has 6 operational vocational training centers across the county. The centers provide technical courses including dressmaking, tailoring, motor vehicle mechanic, plumbing, welding and fabrication, building technology, electrical installation, hairdressing, beauty therapy, ICT, and carpentry, among others. Honorable members, let me briefly talk about sports, culture, and creative arts. Mandara County has a rich cultural heritage. The county government encourages preservation of this heritage and culture. This year in July, inshallah, we will host our annual Mandara Cultural Festival. This will be a 3-day cultural extravaganza featuring traditional songs, dances, poems, and games escorted with traditional Somali foods and drinks. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, under the Ministry of Trade, Industrialization, and Cooperatives, we embarked on county business mapping, and the ministry has developed sample template for businesses and conducted business registration for all businesses in Mandara East, Mandara South, Kutulo, and Lafe so far. And a total of 5,216 businesses were registered. The data is currently in the process of being analyzed into different categories once all other and remaining 3 sub-counties is received. This will enable us to understand and design appropriate strategies and solutions to support them. The Mandara County Trade Fund was established by Mandara County Trade Development Act passed by this House, which is enacted into law to finance SMEs at the county level for economic growth. The fund was launched last July with a kitty of Kenya shillings 368 million over 3 years. In the financial year 2019-2020, the first 50 million will be distributed across the 30 wards. The fund board, composed of 8 members and 7 sub-county committees composed of 7 members per sub-county, have been recruited and gazetted. A call for application was launched in September 2019. The applications were tailor-made and serialized for each ward and have been distributed to all the 30 wards. The disbursement of the fund is planned for March 2020, inshallah. The Department of Cooperative Development has conducted training and development for the people of Mandara, leading to formation of many new cooperatives in the last 5 months. A total of 63 new proposed cooperatives from Lafe, Banisa, Kutulo sub-counties have been undertaken and forwarded to the State Department of Cooperatives for registration, and 23 were successfully registered. The department has now embarked on online registration of new cooperatives to enhance and ease the process of registration. 80 new cooperatives have been operationalized and 36 inactive ones have been revived. So far, a total of 158 cooperatives have been registered, plus 39 SACCOs. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, under Ministry of Public Service, Conflict Management and Devolved Units, we have strengthened human resource operation and control by constructing a modern registry with security safeguards. We have also carried out staff biometric registration to weed out ghost workers. We have carried out capacity building and logistical facilitation for our staff. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, Mandara is one of the 2 counties who pride themselves in having a county band. We have offered training of 45 members of the band unit of enforcement at Kenyatta University and kitted them to grace our county and national occasions. In a bid to offer services better, we purchased motor vehicles for sub-counties of Kutulo and Mandara North sub-county, embarked on construction of Elwa, Kutulo, and Takaba sub-county offices, which has left us only with Ramo to be constructed in the upcoming financial year. With the first already completed and ready for occupation, 17 new ward offices have been constructed and operationalized. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the Department of Cohesion and Integration, we have proactively continued with our program of integrating our communities in partnership with other stakeholders. Under the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock and Irrigation, our efforts to promote and facilitate production of food continues to yield fruits. Our focus this year is geared towards reducing the cost of production through support to farmers by providing farm inputs, upscaling of area under cultivation, providing effective extension services, and promotion of value addition and agro-processing. Honorable members, as a strategy to improve food security and as part of the Big Four national agenda, the county government through the Department of Livestock and Fisheries have vaccinated 1,076,566 animals against PPR, pneumonia, Rift Valley fever, and black quarter diseases, which often threaten our animals. We stocked enough dewormers and antibiotics to respond to emergencies, including disease screening kits. The Department of Veterinary Services has shifted to digital platform for disease reporting through the Kenya Livestock and Wildlife Syndromic Surveillance System, which is a mobile platform in collaboration with Washington State University. Honorable members, through the support of the World Bank, the Kenya Climate Smart Agriculture, Mandara County is one of the biggest beneficiaries of the competitive fund. We've been earmarked to receive Kenya shillings 200 million grant towards improving resilience of our farmers and pastoralists. We have already received the initial fund of 76 million in November last year and dispersed to the community interest groups and vulnerable groups. As a strategy to improve food security, the Department of Irrigation has embarked on two critical projects of turning, critical pilot projects of turning rain-fed farms into year-round farms through the construction of a mega dam in Kutulo for irrigation of 400 acres of land under year-round irrigation. The project is progressing well, with the dam already completed and has collected over 250,000 cubic meters of water. The second project is that of connecting the first 400 acres of rain-fed farms in Korome with water infrastructure from the river. This pilot project is also progressing well. Once completed and operationalized successfully, we intend to extend it to other sub-counties, inshallah. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, under the Ministry of Youth, Gender and Social Services, we purchased and distributed 126 sewing machines, 16 fridges, 120 wheelchairs, 150 crutches to women and persons living with disabilities. We have also purchased and distributed 1,160 goats to 116 vulnerable households through restocking program. In addition to giving Kenya shillings 15 million grant to orphanage centers within the county. In an effort geared towards mainstreaming the plight of persons living with disabilities, we have constructed and completed Mandara Disability Resource Center for use by persons with living with disabilities. We have constructed 816 housing units for the most vulnerable families, and now they are fully in use. And in order to rehabilitate and protect our communities against the negative impact of drug abuse, we have constructed Mandara Rehabilitation Center, which is at its final stage of completion. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, our Ministry of Lands has made tremendous achievement in transforming land management and development as follows. The county government inherited analog land records marred with cases of data loss, illegal manipulation, and loss of revenue. However, the launching of Land Information Management System, LIMS, in October 2019 has improved data integrity and revenue generation. So far, about 6,542 plot records have been registered in the system, in the digitalized system, and secured in the system. The system security is guaranteed, and cases of loss of land records or double registration will be a thing of the past. Mr. Speaker, sir, most importantly, the revenue generation has doubled since the exercise of digitization commenced in October. A total of 11 million was collected within 3 months, compared to 6 million collected over the same period before the digital system was launched. Plans are currently underway to roll out the digital system to all sub-counties. The completion of Land Registry Office block in Mandara and LWAC is a milestone towards cutting costs and enhancing data safety, as well as improved environment for land officers. In our next phase, we will be doing land registries in all the sub-counties. We are at an advanced stage in urban planning for our towns. In this regard, we have approved plans for 2 sub-counties that is in front of the House. At this juncture, I would like to request you to fast-track the approval so that we can implement this phase 1 and roll out phase 2 urban planning for the remaining sub-counties. In partnership with the Ministry of Transport, Public Works and Housing, we have identified 35 informal settlements, and out of that, 23 of the settlements have been approved by the National Ministry of Transport, Public Works and Housing. And very soon, we are set to benefit from the urban housing and urban development for upgrading under the KISI project. Honorable members, Under the Ministry of Roads, Transport and Public Works, after devolution, Mandara County has made tremendous gains in public infrastructure sector. Some of the milestones covered are bitumen roads, Mandara Town roads, 24 kilometers, complete with a bridge and a box culvert. An additional box culvert has been completed and in use, while 2 other box culverts are under construction at Kona B and Takaba. We have also constructed over 1,500 kilometers of roads into all-weather Maram roads, including over 70 drifts. We have constructed Elwak airstrip and are in the process of fencing and constructing Takaba airstrip as we move towards securing air transport for the rest of the sub-counties. In addition, over 450 kilometers of new and classified roads have been successfully opened through grading and bush clearing works. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, through strategic lobbying and persuasive negotiation with national government and other stakeholders, we have benefited from many departments like Kenha, Kura, and Kera directly by getting the following roads either finished or ongoing. We have benefited with 140 kilometer tarmac road, Elwak Ramo A13 road through Kenha, and it's complete. 11.2 kilometer tarmac road within Mandara town under Kura. 90 kilometer tarmac road Oda to Danaba, Hofole, through Kenha. 60 kilometers of low volume seal roads from Mandara, Arabia, and Kera. 175 kilometers all-weather Maram road through Kera that the contract process is ongoing. And we are set to benefit from the construction of Isiolo Mandera Road, 740 kilometers, through the partnership of Government of Kenya and the World Bank. These roads have massively enhanced business and movement and economic growth within our county with a view of unlocking the unlimited opportunities in business sector. Honorable members, the following major stormwater drainage works were also undertaken, which includes protection works of stormwater drainage in Mandara town. Our Public Works Department has been overseeing implementation of mega projects across the county. They have been designing, supervising structural works, electrical and mechanical services for the county building projects. The following are the key projects supervised by Public Works team: County Headquarters, Governor's Residence, Deputy Governor's Residence, County Assembly, County Rest House, Madawasko Office Block, Mandara Municipality Office Block, Mandara Technical Training Institute, Kenya Medical Training College, Modern Slaughterhouse, Regional Livestock Market, Sub-County Headquarters, and Level 4 hospitals, among others. Honorable members, in the county treasury, we continue to build on the prudent financial management that we have put in place for effective service delivery to our people. We continue to make significant progress on several fronts. As you may be aware, Mandara County government was recently ranked second out of 47 counties in procurement compliance. This is definitely not a mean feat, taking into consideration the complexity of procurement laws and poor network infrastructure in our county. In the last financial year, our revenue collection was the highest of the last 7 years the county government has been in office. We managed to collect 95 million. We are currently in the final stage of full revenue automation, and with the ongoing digitization of land records as well as several other reforms in the revenue sector, we expect to significantly improve our collection in the current financial year. In planning department, we are currently developing our first ever indicator handbook, county statistical profile, as well as implementation of the county integrated monitoring and evaluation system. When fully completed, these systems will provide clear visibility of all key indicators for all the ministries, the achievement of devolution, and all the ongoing government programs and projects throughout the county. Our new look website too is now online, and we urge you to visit it, and we expect to launch it in the next 2 or so weeks. The new look county website will act as an avenue for engagement with the public in terms of public awareness of all government activities and projects. It is a well-planned information architecture and well-formatted content. It has used the latest technology available in mobile-friendly, browser-consistent, and loads fast. We will build our new website with the public in mind. We have built our new website with the public in mind. The streamlined user interface provides a more interactive experience, allowing the public and other government entities and external stakeholders to easily peruse through the information they are looking for. Honorable members, the County Public Service Board is tasked with the responsibility of establishing and abolishing offices in the county public service, besides other broad mandate. Honorable members, the county workforce currently stands at 2,775. This number is inclusive of permanent, contractual, and casual staff. The number of health workers have increased from 150 before devolution to currently 849. Recently, we've added 17 medical officers to help in upscaling universal health coverage program, bringing our total number of doctors to 54, up from 3 at the advent of devolution. Honorable members, you are aware that in the year 2019, the County Public Service Board recruited about 700 persons in various capacities from over 5,000 job applicants. However, members of the public complained that the process was not above board, and the board cancelled recruitment exercise of May 2019, relying on the advisory of Mandara County Cabinet and Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Our community is turning to be very litigant society where every decision of the government is challenged in court. My government will continue to comply with the provisions of the law in exercising its responsibilities and consider fair competition, merit, community of interest, consideration of interest of minority and marginalized during recruitment as an overriding factor in any job opportunities within the county. Mandara County government will ever remain committed to giving employment consideration to all Kenyans in its public service in a competitive and transparent manner. We are alive to the fact that because of our geopolitical setup and the challenges of insecurity, Mandara County government remains the sole employer. And my administration is committed in addressing the challenges of unemployment among the youth in the county as realistically and as affordably as possible. We shall recruit as we maintain prudence towards optimal staffing levels, which should not exceed the recommended level of 35% of our budget. In order to enable the board to function properly, the county government will prioritize construction of office block for the County Public Service Board to institutionalize it fully in the year 2020-2021. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, to manage rapid urbanization, we continue to strengthen Mandara municipality to ensure efficient delivery of services to the residents. Since its inception, the municipality has undergone tremendous growth, where we have devolved roles through a gazette notice and seconded technical staff totaling to 53 officers and 1,300 casual workers who are drawn from the most vulnerable members of our community, who are majorly women engaged in caring for our beautiful trees and solid waste management. Through our strategic proposal to the British government, through the DFID, we qualified for a fund called Sustainable Urban Economic Development, SWED. The program will assist the municipality through the development of economic plan that will identify value chain projects that are climate resilience and create jobs for our youth, capacity building and seed capital to fund 2 projects. To position Mandara municipality to execute its mandate efficiently, we have constructed an ultra-modern fire station and municipal office block in a deliberate move to position Mandara municipality which is next to our county, the new county headquarters building. We are fully equipping the fire station by recruiting more fire crews, purchasing more firefighting equipment and trucks to enhance emergency fire response capacity within our county. Going forward, we intend to build the capacity of Mandara municipality further by devolving more staff, roles, and resources to optimal level for efficient and effective service delivery by the municipality. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, we have submitted a charter for Elwak Town as our second municipality in the county. The creation of this municipality will be a legacy for the second county assembly of Mandara. We have decided to pick Elwak because it is the second biggest and oldest town after Mandara town, and the plan is ready, awaiting the approval of this honorable house. Elwak meets most of the conditions for granting a municipal status. It has a population of over 50,000, and it has a spatial plan, has land for expansion, and it's able to generate revenue to run its own operation, which are the conditions set for establishment of the municipality. I request this House to expedite the process so that we achieve the principle of devolution of taking services closer to the citizens. Under the Ministry of Water, Energy and Environment, according to Kenya Household Information Survey of 2005-2006, 34.6% of the population had access to safe drinking water as compared to national figure, which at the time stood at 57%. We have improved this situation through construction of dams, ponds, boreholes, underground water tanks, and water reticulation program. Currently, our water security situation is at 69.31% for our rural population, which has access to reliable sources of water supply, while 68% of the county's population now has access to reliable water supply, that is in the urban center. Mandara County government has revived Mandara Water and Sewerage Company, Madawasco, and mandated it to take its rightful responsibility. The construction of the new modern office for Madawasco is now complete, and the company is expected to fully relocate to the office in the next quarter of this financial year. So far, they have been in operation for a year, and you can attest the water supply system within Mandara town has greatly improved. The supply of water in Mandara town has improved both in quantity and quality over the last 1 year due to the following interventions undertaken with the help of grant from the county to Madawasco. Extension of distribution lines in Mandara town to reach new customers. Replacement of rising mains, 5 kilometers, to improve reliability as old mains were affected by the tarmac road. Construction of 4 new water galleries and full rehabilitation of 5 existing galleries, which increased our water capacity from 700 to 2,200 cubic meters per day. Replacement of high lift pumping set, 2 in Suftu, Malkasuftu, and 2 in Neboi, as the old pumps which are unable to deliver, thereby achieving 24-hour pumping of water to our households. Water storage facility has been improved through rehabilitation of water tanks at Neboi, Suftu, Handadu, Rest House, Treasury, at the Treasury building. A new tank has also been completed at Township and Buruburu Primary School to increase coverage area. To support the Pro-Poor program, we have rehabilitated and operationalized 10 water kiosks in Mandara municipality. We have replaced all distribution pipelines which were worn out due to lack of use for a long time, and thereby increased the connections from 496 to 1,820 in a year. And this is active household connections, and 35 institutions are fully connected. We are on course to increase this number to 4,200 by the end of the year as per the performance target of Madawasco. We have successfully lobbied the national government through the Ministry of Energy in partnership with the World Bank, who will finance 30 mini-grid solar stations in Mandara County. Each of our wards will benefit from the solar station, which is expected to increase lighting within household and open up small-scale businesses for our youth. Mr. Speaker, sir, one of the soothing features of Mandara municipality is our greening efforts and the street lined with nice green trees. Through the afforestation program, in which over 100,000 tree seedlings have been planted and nurtured and maintained. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, we have distributed over 100,000 tree seedlings to households and public institutions to enhance forest cover. This year, we will mark the World Environmental Day in a special way. I have instructed the ministry in charge to prepare at least 100,000 seedlings for distribution on the 5th of June during the World Environmental Day, as we continue the education of the public on the importance of environment and their moral responsibility of environmental protection and afforestation. I challenge you as members to be active environmental agents. We are in the process of formulating policy document titled Mandara County Climate Change Adaptation Bill, which we will present before this House to enact as a law and position Mandara to benefit from climate change funding and partnerships with non-state actors. Lastly, we have officially started the final second half of our current term. For those of you that are lucky as MCAs without a term limit, I am sure you're already looking at 2022 anxiously. For those of us who are not lucky as you are and we have a term limit, we are serving a final term as we are planning to ensure our county will run smoothly without any hitches as we integrate all communities in Mandara. My advice to you is to make the best out of the second and final half of your current term by getting along respectfully, carrying out your responsibilities with decorum and thinking the best for Mandara. A national program, dubbed BBI, is ongoing. We must support it and, where necessary, find inclusion on the ongoing debate on constitutional reforms. We should all stand up together as leaders of this county and be counted with His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta, on the BBI agenda. This is all I have to say. Thank you very much for listening. With those brief few remarks, I say thank you very much, honorable members. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Order number 4, notice of motion. Pursuant to the provision of Standard Orders number 23-4, I seek by the minority to move the convocation on the speech of the governor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to the provision of Standing Orders number 23-4, I seek to move that the thanks of the County Assembly be recorded for the exposition of public policy contained in the address of the governor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your brief remarks. And we are coming to the end of today's session. The House stands adjourned to 25th of February 2019 at 9:00 a.m.